So really quick before we get started, this apparently isn't the original VeggieTales 1993. While I was searching for it, this came up, and I guess it was a rewrite by someone, and I'll link this post in the description so that you can see for yourself. Thanks. All of this happened, I'd want to remind you because I was looking up what Larry's full name was.
You're right, this is how we got here.
Okay. If you were to go back in time to wrong a mistake you made in the past, what would it be? Where would you go? What would you do to change it? Will you make the same mistake twice? Honestly, I wish I could do that. After I made this big mistake, no, I didn't murder anyone. Nor did I commit a felony or cause a relationship to be destroyed. It might sound petty and not very important, but it has to do with something that relates to media. Let me explain. I'm a Christian. I've been one since I was a teen. The reason I became one in the first place was because of my aunt and uncle, who are hardcore messianiacs. How do you say that? Messianiacs.
Can you spell it?
Messianics. So it's like Messiah and maniacs together.
Messianics. I would say Messianics, okay. I guess.
Who are hardcore Messianics. I take it seriously, but I'm not as crazy about it as my aunt and uncle are. Sometimes they think even the smallest thing that has to do with the devil could corrupt me and cause a demon to enter our very pure house. But I think it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I don't think the devil would be that upfront about his schemes. But that's not really the point. Because what this story's about has to do with something Christian related. Particularly a piece of media. VeggieTales. Now, I know. Why is a grown man talking about a show where vegetables tell lessons from the Bible, you may ask?
I was kind of wondering.
One word. Nostalgia. VeggieTales was a show I would watch, no pun intended, religiously, ever since I was very young. As a young boy, I not only watched this silly show constantly, but I had a decent amount of merchandise as well. Nothing major, just a decent collection of DVDs and even a handful of VHS tapes. Yes,
so sick.
I still own a VCR.
You're so cool.
But as I got older,
such a stupid flex.
Sorry. But as I got older, I've grown out of the show. Like growing out of snuggling with a teddy bear. I thought it was too much of a kiddie thing to do. And let me get this out of the way. The show itself has decreased in quality from where I left off. Seriously. What is with that piece of shit in the house show?
What?
I don't really know. First of all, he's like, but as I got older, I grew out of it. It's a show for toddlers, basically.
Yeah, like, I guess it's kind of fun to watch if you're an adult, but
right.
I think,
but
I don't think it's like high entertainment.
It's not meant for anyone who's like 10 or older, I feel like. I mean, maybe,
Correct.
But I don't know.
No, you're 100% right.
Let me continue, though.
Sorry.
And that's where the story begins.
Also, I think your tone is perfect for who this guy thinks he is.
I know. This is my freaky story about vegetables that teach lessons.
This is where shit gets scary.
So you want to know what I want to regret? Wait, so you want to know what I want to regret, right? So you want to know?
Yeah, because he mentioned he did something evil.
So you want to know what I want to regret, right? Well, it all started when I went into the attic to do some cleaning, and in a box, I found the unthinkable. My old VeggieTales DVDs and VHS tapes. All of a sudden, the memories kept flooding back. This sudden influx of nostalgia made me take the box downstairs and put it in my room. I looked through the collection pretty closely, and I realized that I didn't have as much DVDs as I thought I did when I was younger.
Holy fuck.
Maybe my aunt and uncle took the rest of them. Who knows? However, the one I immediately noticed was missing was the very first episode. Where's God when I'm scared?
Scared.
I thought to myself, you know, if I'm gonna relive some childhood memories, I might want to start with the first ever episode. I mean, it would be more organized. And besides, VeggieTales DVDs run pretty cheap online. I could get most of the missing episodes and it wouldn't even make a dent in my bank account. After getting that thought, I went to eBay to start purchasing the episodes I was missing. eBay always has some good deals.
This is not sponsored.
I typed the name of it in the search bar and searched it up, and one of the first results was a new listing of the original 1993 VHS release of the episode. What a find. Not only is that a very limited release, only 500 copies of this version were made, but it also has 0 bids and is only worth a measly $5. That's definitely an immediate buy from me. With no hesitation and no second thoughts, I made a bid for $10. And as I did, coincidentally, the bidding ended and I was the winner. Man, it couldn't get any better than this. However, my common sense then kicked in, and I decided I should message the seller to make sure that I was getting what I paid for. What are you gonna say?
This is not your fault at all, but this is the most like boring shit. Like, so stupid. I am so fucking. Is this how all creepypastas are built up? Like, we have to do this like
not all
eons of exposition.
Not all of them
like,
have this much exposition. Some of them do,
like,
but most of them do not.
Like first he opens like this is gonna be a dramatic story. Have you ever thought about a time you regretted? Also, by the way, I loved VeggieTales. Also, I love a good deal. Also, I went to eBay. Also, here's a good deal.
I went on the eBay and it had 0 bids and it's only worth $5, so I paid $10 and then the bids closed.
Like, I don't care.
Okay. I was able to find the messages easily and copy paste them so you could read. For personal reasons, I won't be giving out the seller's name. Hey! Hello.
Hey!
Hey! Hello. So, where did you find this tape? I got it at a flea market for $1. It didn't take a lot to get. Oh, I see. So, are you sure this is an actual VHS tape? Because I know that there are a handful of eBay sellers that scam their buyers. Oh, no. It's the actual tape. It's the real deal. Oh, well, the picture seems legit. Could I see some more? Sorry, I already sent it out to your address. Okay, I understand. He sent it out within like 2 minutes. Okay, I understand. However, I have to tell you something. Sure, what is it? The tape itself has a little bit of wear and tear. It's been watched so many times that it could skip a bit, and it has a lot of grain. Well, that's what the worker at the flea market told me. Well, have you watched the tape any? A long time ago. I barely remember what was on the tape, to be honest. I see. When will this arrive? Give it 3 days, give or take. Alright, thanks. I have one more question. Alright, shit. What flea market did you get this at? It was a local one that closed down about a decade ago. They were known for selling various VHS tapes and DVDs for dirt cheap prices. I got this for my children, but they only watched it once and gave it back to me, telling me to keep it. Oh, well, why?
Didn't he literally just say it was like heavily used?
Yeah, maybe by someone else though, because he got it from
Okay, fine. Fine.
a store.
I just wanted to poke holes in the story. I'm sorry. That was mean of me.
Don't poke holes in the author that I'll find out the name of later.
People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Once again, I don't remember. Wait a minute. Don't.
This guy's an idiot.
Wait a minute. Don't flea markets only sell bootlegs?
What?
I don't know.
Well, what logic is that?
I don't know. After I said that, the seller didn't answer my question. Odd. Welp, what a way to put my expectations low. It's a 99% chance that I got a piece of shit bootleg instead of the original release. Keeping my expectations low, 3 days have passed since I ordered the video. The day it happened, I went to the mailbox to check for the tape. The mailman did come by earlier that day, even though it was a Sunday. I opened the mailbox and I got my mail out. It was a bill or two, coming from my landlord, and a parcel that I assume contained the VeggieTales videotape. Following that, I went back inside the house and took the mail to my upstairs bedroom, opening the mail up, and to no surprise, the tape was in the parcel. I looked at the tape closely. It came in the original box, so I was glad the pictures were accurate, but I did notice some differences. The box itself was damaged. It was completely ripped apart, but it looked like the box wasn't well taken care of. The corners of the box were dented, and the overall print of the artwork was kinda fuzzy and blurry, like it was printed on Google Images with the lowest resolution. After that, I took the tape out of the box to inspect it. The paper label in the middle of the tape was ripped off in a crude way, like there was still paper hanging onto the tape. Well, I got it for $5. That came secondhand from a flea market. I really shouldn't expect a quality product. But as long as the tape itself played what I wanted, I could just throw these complaints about the quality of the tape aside and enjoy myself after taking care of my bills. I put the tape into the VCR and pushed play on the remote. Now let's get into this episode proper. The episode itself was able to stick in my mind due to its disturbing nature, and I'm able to point out some details on what took place. You ready to finally get into the episode?
I was like, my cheeks are clenched.
I know, and you probably just turned your game off just to listen to this.
I'm quite invested.
Alright. The tape had a huge amount of grain, like the film was heavily beaten up. The sound itself was so muffled that I had to turn up the television to a higher volume to even understand it. Turns out, the seller was telling the truth. The tape at first started how I remembered it. A catchy intro song with main characters Bob the Tomato and Larry the Cucumber. And then the episode itself started. Hi kids, welcome to VeggieTales. I'm Bob the Tomato, introduced Bob. And I'm Larry the Cucumber, introduced Larry. And we're here to answer your questions, said Bob. Then Bob hopped to a letter that was laying on the counter. Today we got a letter from Lisa Evans from Charlotte, North Carolina, and it reads, says Bob with the voice coming from a little girl. As I kept watching, what I remember from the episode came back to my mind. I could tell there were some differences in Bob's voice. He sounded forced, like he didn't want to be there, even though the animation was still the same as the original tape. Maybe it's misremembering? Since I haven't watched this episode in years, the girl that narrated the letter also sounded off. She sounded legitimately scared and on the bridge of crying. Dear Bob and Larry, my mommy said I shouldn't be scared, but there's too many scary things in the world. Could you help me? I don't want to be scared anymore, said the little girl. Well, Lisa, I think I have a story that can help you out, said Bob in a forced way. I remember being scared at something a long time ago, Larry added. He also sounded forced and not very interested. What the hell? Were the voice actors blackmailed to record this episode? I thought it was a passion project. Well, Larry, both you and Lisa can watch this story about being scared, Bob then said, and then it abruptly faded to black. I took all these differences as misremembering the episode because, like I said earlier, it's been years since I last saw it. Now it's time to get to the main meat of the episode. The first episode started out almost just as I remembered it. Junior was watching a scary movie with a Frankenstein celery stick. It's kind of silly watching this now as an adult, but I can see why a kid would be scared of this. Junior's mom would tell him, it's time for bed, and being the good kid that he is, he followed his mom's instructions and went to his room, and decided to lay on his bed, urging to go to sleep. I don't know, what the fuck. While saying the following line. That movie wasn't scary. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Closing his eyes thereafter. Now, I expected Bob and Larry to show up out of nowhere and teach Junior the lesson that God himself is bigger than every villain and scary thing in existence. But Bob and Larry never showed up. Instead, Junior closed his eyes and fell asleep, transitioning into the dream world. But for some reason, Junior's eyes were still open. The dream world was like a psychedelic drug trip, with tons of flashing colors and shapes showing up on the screen behind and around Junior laying down. Then, all of a sudden, so sudden, it felt like a jump scare, the Frankencelery popped up in front of Junior. This is one detail I can't really describe, but Frankencelery looked a bit more demented, angry, and even a bit unnerved. Frankencelery spoke in a loud, deep, booming voice that actually sounded louder and a lot more clear than the rest of the audio. Junior, you are a weak fool. You consider yourself a big boy. You talk to yourself, keeping your mind in a facade, constantly reminding everyone around you that you are brave, but it's not the truth. The truth is, you are weak, worthless, spineless. You are no one. He follows this tangent with a nerve-shaking evil laugh, which was so loud that I had to turn down the TV before I went deaf. After that, Frankencelery disappeared. The camera cut to Junior looking up to the ceiling, followed by closing his eyes. All of a sudden, the screen faded to black again, with white text in Times New Roman font that said, 2 days later. It cut to a hospital room, made in the simplistic early VeggieTales style. Junior was laying on the hospital bed, looking like he hasn't slept in a long time. His eyes were pink and slightly bloodshot. He didn't have his hat on. And he was connected to both a heart monitor and a mask, giving him oxygen.
I'm sorry. Oh, fuck it. It's just so stupid. Oh my god! Junior, what happened? No! It's like fucking hospital
He
bed.
hasn't slept for days.
He couldn't do it. He can't sleep. I'm sorry. You may proceed.
I'm almost done, I think. Bob, Larry, and Junior's parents were all watching over him, looking sad.
I'm more imagining like they're disappointed. Like, what the fuck?
Looking sad. With his mom being the most upset, she was crying. My son's a little bitch. No, okay.
You should have said that.
She was crying, but unlike the rest of the voice acting, this crying wasn't fake. It sounded like a person was actually breaking down into tears. A doctor then entered the room. He looked like Archibald Asparagus without the
I'm sorry, his name shouldn't make me laugh out. You look like Archibald
It's
Asparagus.
just funny to be like the doctor walked in and he looked like Archibald Asparagus. Isn't Junior's dad all Archibald Asparagus? Am I wrong?
No, that is not.
Oh, it's
his
someone
dad is
else.
not.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. It's not like that is like a super wrong, idiotic observation. It's just like,
no, I got you. I haven't watched it in so long.
it's just funny.
I'm like the main character. I haven't watched VeggieTales in so long. I'm just misremembering.
I haven't watched VeggieTales in God eons.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
A doctor then entered the room. He looked like Archibald Asparagus without the monocle, but he had a doctor's outfit on. Bob said, also very upset, Well, doctor, how is he? Junior was... is this Archibald?
He's not going to make it.
Well, Junior was originally suffering from sleep paralysis, but it soon turned into a coma for some unknown reason. He's also having breathing problems and can barely talk. He's in a coma. He's in a coma. How would he talk?
Well,
this is due to an overwhelming amount of fear that he had during his sleep paralysis. I suggest you try not to interact with him in any way, said the doctor. Well, will he ever wake up? Said Dad Asparagus. I don't know, the doctor answered. The rest of the doctors are trying their hardest to get him to wake up.
I'm not trying as hard.
As he said that, Junior started convulsing, rapidly shaking on the bed, and the heart monitor kept beeping quickly, causing everyone to scream in terror. Oh dear, we need to take evasive action, screamed the doctor.
Evasive?
I don't know.
We need to jump out of the way! That's the guy who wrote this, not you.
I know. I'm assuming he's invasive, right?
I don't even think that's right either.
I don't
like,
okay.
we need to take immediate action?
Maybe,
I don't know.
know.
Like, I don't know what he was thinking. It's so
Okay.
silly.
Oh dear, we need to take evasive action, screamed the doctor. But before he could do anything else or take any more precautions, the heart monitor flatlined. Junior stopped shaking, and the whole room went quiet, aside from the haunting sound of the flatline. The doctor abruptly broke the silence. Well, I'm sorry.
Well, shit. Damn. Just imagine, that's your fucking kid. He's just
the whole
convulses
time
and
it
like
happened.
dies. It's like,
I was also trying so hard to hold it together, thinking about like a little tiny asparagus or a little tiny like fucking what is he?
he's freaking out. He's like
Just like
convulsing.
freaking out on the hospital bed.
It's just fucking asparagus.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We lost him. Too much terror was built up inside him, and it caused his heart to beat abnormally, and he could not handle it in the state he was in. The parents of Junior then started crying, with Bob and Larry looking very somber.
Why are they there?
I don't know. The main characters, I guess.
Was it like? Okay, never mind. I'm
Okay.
asking too many questions.
I'm sure we'll have all the answers by the end of the story.
You think that?
I couldn't believe my eyes. Junior died?
This can't be.
This is literally the next line. There's no fucking way that this could have been animated by Big Idea.
There's no fudging way.
It has to be a sick joke. Then, while I was ranting, the tape then stopped. I hesitantly took the tape out of the VCR, but as I did, the tape's film got stuck and stretched out, destroying the tape and causing permanent damage to the VCR. Great. A bootleg tape that not only made me question my childhood, but also damaged my VCR. With force, I ripped the tape out and chucked it into the trash can. Now, with these bullshit stories, you would expect me to be scared or disturbed, but no, I was just pissed off.
This dude is so fucking cool.
I got sold a bootleg that was nothing like the episode I, an adult, wanted to watch. I have the
Why
right.
are you watching?
I have the right to be pissed off. I went to my computer and contacted the seller. This time, he actually responded to my messages. Just like earlier, here are the messages. Hey man, what the fuck did you sell me? The tape you wanted? That's not the tape I wanted. This is a shitty bootleg that was nothing like the real one. Calm down. Describe me what was in the episode. Well, the tape was in very low quality. The episode was completely different, and the tape broke while it was playing.
That's not at all what the seller would ask. It would be like, "Wait, what happened?" Not describe what happened in the episode.
That would also not be how I responded if I just watched Junior die.
I watched Junior Asparagus die. Don't you understand? Damn it!
Alright. Oh, well, jeez. That never happened to me. I thought you said you watched it. I did, but I don't remember the things you said. Well, let me ask this question again. Don't flea markets sell bootlegs? Yeah, they do, but I thought it was a legit tape. You should have been more careful. I'm very sorry, but do you want a refund? I would, but the tape broke. I could still give you a refund, even if the tape's broken.
It's very reasonable.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll send it back to you ASAP, but before I do, what was the flea market called? It was called Cheap Market, though I doubt you'll be able to find info on them due to them closing down a decade ago. I'll find a way. After about 45 minutes worth of failed research, I then found
I'll find a way.
I didn't find a way.
It's a failed research later.
I then found an official statement from Big Idea's website. I clicked on the site, and the thing that showed up really caught my eye. The statement then said, "Dear fans of VeggieTales, it has come to our attention that there are some illegal fake VHS tapes made of our older VeggieTales episodes have been going around in places like flea markets and lesser known selling websites with the results being stuff that is sad, depressing, and also very scary and disturbing. We at Big Idea would never make something as messed up as what is seen on these bootleg tapes. We're taking illegal action to get these videos banned and destroyed before it affects unsuspected children. We hope you understand, and if you feel scared, pray to God, and you will feel better. With love, Big Idea. It still doesn't make sense to me. Why would some fucked up human being take demented bootleg videos of VeggieTales episodes? What would they gain for it? Do they find enjoyment out of making this? I went and did more research looking for this. I even looked into the deep web. And what I found was something that made so much sense. From what I saw, it was a blog post made by a person who I will not say by name, because I don't want to give the fucker any publicity. The blog post was very long, just like this one, so I'm just gonna summarize it. The post said things about special episodes of VeggieTales that were sold for monetary gain, but it also mentioned that the episodes had a lot of changes made by the poster. These changes he described as made for the darkest parts of the internet and had to do with death and suffering. And it also said in the blog spot that if anyone were to speak about this outside of the deep web, that they will pay the ultimate price for it. But why VeggieTales? Why would they pick this show out of anything else? More research was done, and it turns out the person who made these tapes was a hardcore Satanist who hated anything having to do with Christianity and was arrested previously for assault charges and theft. But his worst case was kidnapping innocent people and making them act in and produce these demented tapes, or they would be tortured if they didn't obey. Now I know why the voice acting felt forced, and that also explains the actual crying. Due to him hating Christianity, VeggieTales was his main target, and he used it to vent out his frustrations and express his hatred for Christians. And since he was a felon, he couldn't get a job, and selling these tapes was his only way of getting any kind of money. That's kind of fucked. I mean, felons can get jobs. Maybe not great ones, but...
This is like such a, like... I don't know. Like, anybody who doesn't believe in God is an asshole.
Yeah, for sure. He's like, he was a Satanist.
This dude was a hardcore Satanist. He went after all that is pure in the world, namely VeggieTales. Like, what?
He was.
This was the best thing he could do.
Yeah, he didn't go against like any other Bible group.
Like an organized the organized religion.
Yeah, literally. Oh my god. He was then arrested again in the summer of 2010, with all of his tapes being confiscated. With all of his tapes being confiscated by the local police department. However, some of the tapes slipped through the cracks and were sold by other people in flea markets and other rundown stores, both physical and online, not aware that these were illegal bootlegs. Now, I know why the flea market was closed down. After coming to this conclusion, I felt a sense of release and catharsis from it. Nowadays, I feel a lot better. I don't let this one incident affect my overall feelings of VeggieTales. But there is something in me that makes me regret ever buying the tape. It doesn't bother me as much, but it's one thing I could go back in time to fix. That was the most like nothing story I've ever read in my entire life.
That was the conclusion?
Yeah, it was the conclusion. That was it.
That was so stupid. It was supposed to be a creepypasta. I was half expecting more like Like he got gratification in the end. He found out it was a villain, and the villain was arrested too.
Yeah.
Like what?
I would have accepted that if like the last little blurb was just like, and then I got another, like here's like they found all of them and confiscated it, and then I found another one or whatever, some shit like that. I don't know.
Or like the guy comes after him, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Maybe it was baby's first creepypasta attempt, but
Yeah, that was not it, bro.
thanks for reading that. Sorry, I was giggling and laughing so much during
Nah, dude.
the course of it.
It's part of the game. Yeah, that was called VeggieTales 1993.
It was called fucked up VeggieTales. Super scary ass VeggieTales.
It was called Please Don't Watch This VeggieTales creepypasta. It'll give you bad dreams.